It started out just like any other day. I came here to the office house to buy and sell domains for my SEO business, which is the same thing I've been doing for over 23 years. And in that time, I have made millions of dollars with SEO, buying and selling domains, and all kinds of things like that. But yesterday, as I was going about my day, trying to buy good domains to rank in Google and make a profit, I noticed something extremely curious, and it has to do with this domain right here. You could see the asking price is $20,000. However, the Godaddy estimate is less than $1,500. So I thought to myself, what gives? Well, maybe, like me, they're buying and selling domains that rank in Google and get lots of traffic. So I decided to dig a little deeper. And what I found was actually quite shocking. I thought to myself, could this be a giant pump and dump scam? Are these people buying domain names, loading them with spammy AI content, artificially boosting the rankings, and then selling them at a premium after the rankings have already dropped? And in some cases, dare I say it, the domain has been penalized by Google, and the site completely flagged as spam. And the strange thing was, it wasn't one or two domains. This is something completely dominating the higher price listings on GoDaddy auctions. So naturally, I had to investigate further. And what you're about to see is incredibly shocking, but is also going to give you an aha moment that's going to help you make money online. Okay, in just a minute, we're going to get to these domains and what the importance is and what they're selling for and all the nitty-gritty details of how this works. But first, about a month ago, Matt Diggity, who has some excellent SEO content out there about how to rank in Google and all that fun stuff, came out with a video where he found the owners of a website that we talked about just about a year ago. This was the famous Conch House domain. This is a domain that actually belonged to a restaurant in St. Augustine, Florida, and had a bunch of backlinks to it, thus making it very powerful to Google. This domain actually sold back in November. And if I remember correctly, it sold for about $20,000. Now, why would this website about some restaurant that probably went out of business in Florida be worth like $20,000, and why would someone pay for it? Good question. Actually, on Google, there is this thing known as PageRank and backlinks. PageRank and backlinks determines the power of your website or domain based on the people who link into it. So if you have a website or domain name and you have a link from CNN.com, FoxNews.com, and all these other big websites pointing to your website, that then makes your website powerful in the eyes of Google. And if your website is powerful enough, you could pretty much rank for any keyword that you want to rank for on Google. For example, the Amazon.com website has over 2 billion backlinks pointing at the site. Yep, that means over 2 billion pages on the internet link back to Amazon, which makes them super popular. And that is exactly why they rank for almost 100 million different keywords in Google, get over 500 million searches a month with an average traffic value of over $273 million a month. Yeah, Marcus, but that's Amazon. What about me? How can I buy domains and get ranked in Google? Well, I'm glad you asked, because that's where this whole sinister plot, scam, pump and dump thing takes root. If you notice here, some of the domains that we mentioned earlier, you can see that they are related to restaurants and different things like that. We have Amaze Bowls. I think it was like an acai bowl kind of restaurant or something like that. We could see we have this restaurant, some kind of tea place, Good Burger pop-up, some kind of mansion music, and all kinds of other domains including, get this, going for $26,000, forbiddenbroadway.com, and then finding neverlandthemusical.com, Motor Manor. Something looks kind of fishy here. And let's take a look at that conch house one again, because I noticed something kind of strange. If you noticed it, let me know in the comments below. And that is this peak right here. This is the amount of traffic the website was getting before it was first sold to the team of people that were doing black hat SEO and boosted it up. It was getting around 15,000 visitors a day, and most of these were probably related to the restaurant. As we can see here, according to Ahrefs, there was the same spike right around the same time here. And if we take a look at the keywords, we can see that they are in fact related to some kind of restaurant. However, there's also some very strange things. As you can see here, they're ranking for all kinds of interesting keywords that have nothing to do with a restaurant. And since this content was deemed as spam, since it wasn't really related to what the domain was about, it got tons of rankings de-indexed by Google that they had in the heyday, getting over 3 million visitors a month. And if you were to take a look at some of these domains here that we found on Godaddy auctions just yesterday, we could see the same exact pattern of behavior where the traffic goes up, drastically drops after a couple of months. Apparently, that's how long it takes Google to realize that the content you're producing is spam. Because let's face it, if all you're doing is regurgitating junk content on the internet trying to get search traffic, that is the very definition of spam. We could take a look at another one over here, like motormanor.com. Again, we're seeing the same exact peak and drop in traffic. And much like the other site, this one is a lot of spam content just designed to get search engine rankings. Now, this one still has some of the rankings because it is related to motor stuff and motorcycles and bikes and cars and things like that. However, we can see that a lot of the content is more or less just scraped from the web, duplicated AI content in effort to sell stuff as an Amazon affiliate. Here's another restaurant one, same exact peak, and drops off drastically. Now it's only getting 50 visitors a month, yet it's still listed at almost $11,000. And this one here, again, the same pattern, dropping down to just 128 visitors a month from a peak of over 10,000. Here's another one, again, peaked at about 31,000. Now it's hovering with just 100 visitors a month. Even though they were listing them for crazy amounts of money, they weren't getting any sales on Godaddy auctions. So I looked a little deeper and found out that they are now trying to sell them on Flippa. Now, whether the domain is worth it is kind of in the eye of the beholder, but as far as search engine rankings, if that's what you're trying to do, then I think this is misleading at best. And don't worry, I'm actually going to show you an ethical way to do this that'll maintain the traffic and rankings for years. But first, we need to understand how this works. If you're going out there and creating content that is unrelated, right? You go out there and you're like, okay, I have this amazing acai bowl site, and you want to go out there and rank for acai bowls, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the search engine like this and hit Keyword Explorer and then type in something like acai, and I'm going to try to rank for words that are related to what the actual domain was about. You might have seen in Wednesday's live stream how I bought the domain mojiedit.com. This domain actually ranks for all kinds of different keywords about the meanings of different emoticons. And as you can see here, the content we're putting up is all about that exact same topic. And if you stay on the same topic, you should have a website that ranks for many, many years. And of course, it's not going to be deemed spam because it's not spam. We're actually trying to make a good site about emojis and emoticons and things like that and build it up into something that's actually valuable to the end user. And as you can see here, a lot of these sites are actually drastically reducing the amount of traffic as we go on, which we don't want to happen. And while there are some extreme cases like these guys who made $800,000 in 2 months, this is more or less spamming. And the cool part about the ethical method is I'm actually able to buy these domain names very cheap. For example, I got this domain for one of my clients for just $450. And that was over a year ago, and you can see that even one entire year later, this website is still ranking for tons of keywords related to dog allergies. And this is something that can be super profitable because I can offer different things like pet insurance and stuff related to dog health and pets and all that kind of stuff. It's actually really simple. And in fact, this client hasn't done anything with their website in over a year, and it's actually gained rankings. Yeah, we bought a domain, put content on it, nothing happened for a year, and the traffic actually went up. And imagine the power if you were able to go out there and build a site like this. Because when we look at the spam examples, what they're doing is they're basically making the domain completely useless after 2 months. Now, they might make a bunch of money, but again, that $800,000 example, they said they had over 1 million keywords in Google, which means they had to have thousands and thousands of pieces of content. And even in the black hat world of SEO, this kind of case study is extremely rare. So what I like to do instead is actually look for domains with things that I can actually use and build a site around. I do this all the time. We can see here that gardenofangels.org is for sale. It's only $60 currently. It's got a day to go, so it'll probably go for $300 or something like that. And we could see that it ranks for different things in Google related to different things about angels and religious stuff and things like that. And with a little work, we can turn this into a full-fledged business. Or let's say you want to use something like Frugal Fortunes, which actually ranks for all different kind of budgeting keywords and make money keywords and stuff like that. As we can see, it has a lot of backlinks, a good amount of referring domains, and the keywords are all related to different calculators and dividends and stocks and quite frankly, stuff that pays a lot of money. I could probably get for like $500 since it's ending in about an hour and a half, build the content up, get the traffic, and make money practically overnight. And this is the same exact thing I'm doing on my SUV website. As you can see here, it's ranking for all kinds of stuff, and since SUVs are like $80,000 these days, this is something that can put a lot of money in my pocket. And this is the same kind of thing I'm doing each and every day with many, many websites in tons of different niches. In fact, that Frugal Fortunes domain, I actually bought it while I was filming this video for just $380. And if I structure the content and build a good site, I can have something that I can keep and make money with, or even build it up and sell it for a nice 5 or 6 figure payday with one site alone. And of course, the results are not typical, implied, or guaranteed, and the average affiliate makes nothing, but I think we can understand exactly what is running the show. Why are these domains going for so much money? Why are they valuable? And what are people doing with them? Well, they're ranking on Google. And since Google makes hundreds of billions of dollars a year, this is super lucrative. And if you want to learn more about it, check out the links in the description.